Right now on News 3, celebrating the reopening of Sun Prairie's Main Street after this summer's deadly explosion.
And the Baraboo School District now taking steps to better educate following the release of the controversial photo.
This is News 3 at 10.
We'll have those stories in just a bit. First, some breaking news on the north side of Madison. Police are on the scene of a shooting on Troy Drive. It was reported just after 7:30 tonight. Police say when they got there, they found a 25-year-old African-American man from Madison with a gunshot wound to his lower torso. The suspect is a 27-year-old man who is known to the victim. The Violent Crimes Unit will investigate the incident.
Next at 10, it was just over 4 months ago. The city of Sun Prairie shaken by a massive explosion that will be remembered forever. Corey Barr, a firefighter, business owner, husband, and father killed in that blast. Those events were fresh on people's minds once again today.
This afternoon, the city celebrated the pending reopening of Main Street. Amy Reed shares with us what community leaders are saying as they work to move on.
We were devastated 4 months ago. We came into a situation that was extremely difficult, and we did our best to get as many residents out of this area as we could.
Time may have made it easier.
Will we forget? No. I think that what happened here on the evening of July 10th will remain with this community, and we will never forget what happened to Corey on that day in July and what he was doing for us. We won't forget.
It certainly made the bonds stronger.
What I really need to say to all of you is we run in and rescue you from all the difficult issues that you have, but this is a total change of events. You folks rescued us.
Looking at the love now, it may be difficult to even think about how this started.
We have to go back to Union Street.
There's a large explosion in the downtown area.
And it knocked me to the ground.
Building just blew up.
It's been 4 months since this explosion blew through Sun Prairie, leaving people without a place to stay, leaving a woman without her husband.
I want to welcome you to the reopening of Highway 19.
It's today they choose to move forward, using the freshly repaired road as reason to celebrate.
What we are doing today celebrates the resiliency of this community. It says that we're able to pull together and look out for each other.
Time may have made it easier, maybe just more bearable. But today is a new marking in time.
I want to tell you folks, we're back. We're back strong, and we're back here to take care of you. We are here for you. We are strong, and we will keep on serving the citizens of Sun Prairie forever.
There were many thanks to go around today to fire, police, EMS, and the governor and workers who've been working since this happened to get things back to normal as much as they could. That road is almost ready. They said it just needs a few more days.
Amy Reed reporting tonight. Amy, thank you.
It has now been nearly a month since Wisconsin teenager Jamie Kloss went missing. Since then, her loved ones have been living in what they describe as a constant daze. On October 15th, Jamie's parents, Denise and James Kloss, were found shot to death inside their home in Barron. By the time authorities got to the house after a confusing and chaotic 911 call from Denise's cell phone, Jamie was gone. An Amber Alert remains active for the 13-year-old. Meanwhile, her aunts, uncle, and grandfather remain convinced she is out there alive somewhere.
It's just unreal. You're so emotional. You don't even know what you're saying, really. I mean, even now, still, you have to go through a big thought process, and it's just...
There is still a $50,000 reward being offered by the FBI for any information leading to Jamie. The Barron County Sheriff says investigators have cleared more than 2,300 tips in the case.
11 people are without a home tonight. One was taken to the hospital after a fire at an apartment complex on the north side. Neighbors called 911 after seeing smoke come from the building on Brentwood Parkway just after 3 o'clock this afternoon. Crews evacuated the building and put the fire out, located in a second-floor apartment. The injured person is expected to be okay. A teacher in Waterloo has been placed on administrative leave following an incident with a 5-year-old student. The mother of that student says her son was dragged down the hallway by the teacher. The school district says they are working with law enforcement on the investigation. It's been nearly 72 hours since a photo of teens appearing to do a Nazi salute has spread all over the world.
The Baraboo School District investigating that photo. The city's police department assisting in that investigation. Some of the teens in the picture say they are innocent and did not mean to make any reference to Nazis. The photographer of the photo says he told the students to make a, quote, high sign, but many others say there is no mistaking the Nazi salute.
There's no place in this world for hate. We're all on this planet trying to get by, and for someone to do something so dramatic and not knowing the history behind it, it's very sad.
So far, more than 8,000 people have signed a petition calling for the suspension of the students in that photo.
In response to the public's reaction and the widespread attention that photo is getting, the Baraboo School District is now working with civic and faith leaders to host a community program to educate people on the history and hate that can stem from things like this. Jamie Perez sat down with a history professor who says this is a step in the right direction. Jamie?
That's right. So the professor that I spoke with, as well as the Baraboo School District, said no matter the intentions behind this photo, it sent a message that was shocking and hateful for a lot of people. But he said education is the biggest step towards making sure things like this don't happen in the future.
It's the photos seen around the world.
Been quite something, hasn't it?
Professor Jay Hathaway teaches history at Edgewood College and specializes in areas like the Holocaust and the Nazi regime. When he saw the photo,
have they lost their mind? Do they really know what they're doing? And my real reaction was I wasn't sure they really understood.
regardless of the intentions behind this photo, Hathaway says education simply isn't strong enough.
Students that I have and have had over the years, increasingly, knowledge of the Holocaust is not very strong.
In response to the photo's circulation around the world, the Baraboo School District sent out this statement saying, "The truth is this is an image that has rightly been described as hateful, frightening, and disappointing." And in response to the reaction the past few days, the district is in the planning stages with civic, community, and faith leaders to host an upcoming community program. As a professor, Hathaway says education is key in situations like this, something that in its entirety is just one big lesson to be learned.
It's too bad that it's they have to get tarnished like this, but I guess it's a lesson learned. Think before you leave, I suppose.
The school district did not release any further details as to what exactly the community program entails just yet. Of course, we will make sure to publicize that information as soon as they release it. Otherwise, the district's full statement can be found on our website. That's channel3000.com.
Jamie Perez reporting tonight. Jamie, thank you.
Well, we switch over to weather now. Another chilly one out there tonight as we take a live look from our Edgewater Skycam at the Capitol. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. He joins us, our first alert weather. Gary?
Eric, at least it's quiet out there. Temperatures are on the cold side, though. Not quite as cold as they were yesterday at this time. As we take a look at Doppler track, no snow across Wisconsin. We've had mainly clear skies for the day today, but we do have an alert day in the forecast for Saturday, mainly in the morning. A light snow developing Friday night will continue into early Saturday morning. Might see an inch or two of accumulation, the heaviest amounts down toward the Illinois state line, but some freezing drizzle is also possible, so that could make for some slick road conditions. The latest RPM computer model has actually come up a little bit on the snow totals to about 1.5 inches here in the Madison area, about 2 to 2.5 inches down toward the Illinois state line, with lesser amounts up to the north. As we take a look at low temperatures this morning, because of the clear skies and light winds, we dropped to 13 in Madison. Temperatures are in the single digits north and west of Wisconsin Dells. High temperatures today range from around 30 near Lake Michigan to around 40 near the Mississippi River. La Crosse and Black River Falls touched 40. Current temperatures now are in the low to mid 20s through much of southern Wisconsin. And as we check out our forecast first for tomorrow, look for temperatures to drop into the middle 20s. We'll look for clear skies to start the day, then partly sunny skies, and a slightly milder day with a high of 41. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. More than 200 people remain missing after the Camp Fire, which devastated the town of Paradise and killed at least 56 people. Wildfires are still burning in northern and southern California. Although officials have yet to determine what started the fire, about 24 victims have filed suit against Pacific Gas and Electric Company for allegedly failing to maintain its power lines. The accused Parkland gunman, Nicholas Cruz, is now facing additional charges after officers say he attacked a prison worker yesterday. Today in a Fort Lauderdale courtroom, Cruz was charged with aggravated assault and battery on a police officer and use of an electric weapon on an officer after being accused of grabbing the deputy's taser. Cruz is also charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted murder for the Valentine's Day massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Attorney Michael Avenatti has been arrested on suspicion of felony domestic violence. The Los Angeles Police Department said the domestic violence report was taken yesterday. The arrest made today. Avenatti representing Stormy Daniels in her legal battles against President Trump, and he has since been an outspoken critic of the president. Avenatti called the allegations today, quote, completely bogus. A week after the midterm elections, Congress has returned with freshman members in town for orientation. More than 80 House freshmen posed for a class photo in front of the Capitol. The new Democrats in town are also having to navigate a caucus divided over Leader Nancy Pelosi's bid for Speaker of the House, but they will have time to discuss it as they won't pick their leaders until later this month. Republicans, who will no longer control the House come January, had an easier time. They chose current Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy as the new Minority Leader. And on the other side of the Capitol, Senator Mitch McConnell won another term as Majority Leader this morning and met with GOP freshmen. Among them, Governor Rick Scott of Florida, who is still locked in a recount battle with Democrat Bill Nelson for Florida's Senate seat. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer also won another term at his post. And while there's a lot of focus on the future this week, Congress has a number of issues to tackle. The top priority is avoiding a government shutdown after December 7th. They are out next week for the Thanksgiving holiday. That means lawmakers have just 2 weeks to reach a deal to fund the government.
Governor Scott Walker says he hasn't spoken with the media since his election defeat out of decency. The governor posted on Facebook today that the decent thing to do is to let Governor-elect Tony Evers have his time to talk about his transition. Governor Walker says he has spoken with Evers, his staff, and cabinet. The fate of a $100 million tax incentive package to Kimberly-Clark is unclear tonight. The state assembly passed the plan already, but it stalled in the Senate. The company announced earlier this year that it planned to close its plant in Fox Crossing. If this tax break passes, it would save nearly 400 jobs at Kimberly-Clark. At least 3 Republican senators have come out against this plan. Republicans are calling on Democrats to support it, but none has said they would.
We passed this bill, we saved these jobs. With this bill, you preserve the legacy of Kimberly-Clark in the state for probably generations to come.
I am not convinced that this is the right thing for the state to do.
Senate Republican Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says he will call for a vote later this month if there are enough votes.
Criminal justice reform, mental health services, and housing among the major investments in the 2019 Dane County budget, approved and signed today by the county board. The $630 million budget will actually lower the county portion of your property taxes by about $8. For a breakdown of the dollar amounts in total, we have all that information at channel3000.com. And still ahead tonight at 10, a reminder for drivers as we enter these winter months.
And the official White House Christmas tree is on its way to D.C. Find out where the tree is from when we come back. Starting Saturday, the Goodman Community Center will distribute Thanksgiving baskets to thousands of families in need.
And WISC-TV 3 proud to once again partner with the Goodman Community Center and the UW Athletic Department this year. We hope to provide baskets with all the food necessary for a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Right now, we need everything from frozen turkeys, stuffing mix, and canned vegetables. It's also as easy as making a cash donation. For information on where you can donate, check out channel3000.com. A warning for drivers tonight. Alternate side parking rules go into effect overnight in Madison. So anyone who parks on the road, the city says from 1 a.m. until 7 a.m., park on the even house numbered sides of the street on even numbered days, odd house numbered side of the street on those odd numbered days.
The official White House Christmas tree was cut down today in North Carolina. In September, White House officials selected the 25-year-old 19-foot Fraser fir in the city of Newland. The owner of the farm was selected to supply this year's official tree after he won the National Christmas Tree Association's contest in Green Bay. The White House trees from last year and 2016 were both from Wisconsin.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti joining us once again as we take a look at the forecast. Gary?
Well, we need a little snow to be more in the holiday spirit, and we'll probably get some, especially Friday night into Saturday morning. Let's start out by taking a look at an alert day that we have put in the forecast for that time. Not a big amount of snow, maybe an inch or two, but there could be some freezing drizzle mixed in as well. And of course, you know, with Thanksgiving being next week, there will be some people that will take the whole week off and will start their holiday travel next weekend. So just bear that in mind if you are leaving Saturday morning, that you might run into some slippery road surfaces. Latest computer model forecast, the RPM computer model that does most of our day-to-day forecasting, showing about an inch to an inch and a half through much of southern Wisconsin, maybe about 2 inches along the Illinois state line. The amount for Madison has come up by about 0.2 of an inch over the last forecast, but the other computer models, the European computer model, has actually dropped Madison to just a little more than 1/10 of an inch of snow, about an inch near the Illinois state line down toward Dubuque, Iowa. And the GFS computer model, the main U.S. Forecasting computer model, showing about 2 inches near the Illinois state line, but again, very little from Madison northward. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But right now, we're still thinking around an inch or so here in Madison. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison tonight. No snow out there. Skies have been clear for much of the day. As we check out the almanac, we started out chilly this morning. 13 was the overnight low temperature. That's compared to the average low temperature of 29. 34 the high. That was an improvement over yesterday, and that's still 11 degrees below the average high of 45. We're 25 now. Skies are clear. Winds out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Wind chills at 18. But with that southerly wind, I'm thinking low temperatures will probably bottom out in the lower 20s. High temperatures today, generally in the lower 30s in northern and Wisconsin through the southeastern portion of the state, a little closer to 40 out toward the Mississippi River. La Crosse did hit the 40-degree mark. Current temperatures are in the 20s here, but notice to the west, so southerly winds keeping temperatures in the 30s across much of Minnesota. On weather track, the upper level winds still from the northwest here, but notice the big dip in the jet stream, firing up a pretty strong storm system in the southeastern part of the country. A lot of rain through parts of Georgia heading toward the Carolinas, and then snow and maybe some freezing rain on the northern part of that heading over towards St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Cincinnati. As we check out the current weather map, there's a high pressure system that's blocking that system to the south of us. This weather system is our weather maker that'll drop in here for Friday night. In between, temperatures are a little cooler here just because we have clear skies, cloud cover keeping temperatures a little warmer to the south and east and to the north and west. On future track, you can see how the snow gets about up to Chicago but stays to our south. We'll see sunny, partly sunny skies for tomorrow, and then we'll see more clouds as we head into tomorrow night and Saturday. That will bring some light snow through here, and then maybe a couple of flurries again Saturday morning once the weather system clears out. But there are winter weather advisories and winter storm systems to our south and east. Our forecast for the overnight hours, mostly clear, not as cold, low dropping to 21. For tomorrow, look for a high of 41 degrees with partly sunny skies. On future track, those temperatures dropping off to the lower 20s by early morning. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, high temperatures in the lower 40s. Tomorrow night, a few more clouds, maybe a flurry or two of snow, low temperatures in the upper 20s. And then Friday, most dry for the day, high temperatures in the mid 30s. But again, that Friday night snow into Saturday morning could be about an inch or two of accumulation. After that, look for cold weather for the weekend. High temperatures only in the lower 20s for Sunday after the snow ends on Saturday. And then warm up next week, bringing our temperatures back up to the mid 40s by Thanksgiving Day. Looks like the rain chances now late in the day, Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving night. On Black Friday, some rain showers that could change to snow showers before ending Friday night.
Oh, I was hoping it would be a little bit better just for people who are traveling over Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
But
we'll
there's
see.
time for things to change.
I think you know, if we have rain, that'll probably be the best thing.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers gets ready to visit some old friends out in Seattle. Stick around. Sports is next.
From the Whatever Happened To file, Jefferson native, former Barry Alvarez graduate assistant Lance Leipold won 6 national titles in 8 seasons at UW-Whitewater. His record, 109-6. He's in his 4th season at Division I Buffalo, and they're off to their best start ever at 9-1 and could clinch a spot in the MAC title game with a win over Ohio. This is Kevin Lewis jinx. They'll have to wait. Ohio was not having it, winning 52-17. Sorry, Coach. The Bulls fall to 9-2, 6-1 overall, but they can still clinch a MAC title game spot with a win at Bowling Green next Friday. A little baseball. I know the regular season ended years ago. Christian Yelich will officially win the MVP tomorrow. Today, Mets ace Jacob deGrom won the Cy Young. Brewers reliever Josh Hader was the only reliever to get any votes. 1 4th and 2 5th place. Hader struck out 143 batters in 81 1/3 regular season innings. He averaged almost 16 Ks per 9 innings pitched. Ever heard the line, "You need to work on your nonverbal communication skills"? I mean, that's just me. That's one way the Packers plan to attack the traditional home field advantage of the Seahawks. That's a joke. I'm a cuddly guy. CenturyLink Field crowds known as the 12th man, but it hasn't been what it was in the past. Seattle's only 1-2 at home this season, but the Packers are 0 on the road, so they'll need to adapt to the noise if they want to steal one in Seattle.
They cheer not only during the pre-snap, but also when you're in the huddle sometimes. So it's emphasis on your nonverbal communication, and we haven't always started the quickest up there, so you got to start a little faster, try and take their crowd out, and then kind of withstand the surge that usually comes from that team.
The Bucks have the toughest strength of schedule so far in the young NBA season, but they're 10-3, second in the Eastern Conference. Forward Chris Middleton says it's because the team has a hungrier attitude. They're on hunt for Grizzlies tonight, the Fiserv Forum. Bucks down 5 in the 4th. Giannis almost unguardable, 1-on-1 and 1. Big fella had 31 points. Grizzlies still in the lead, 111-109. Mike Conley almost loses it, gets it back, makes an impossible shot and hits. But the Bucks had one last chance with 2 seconds to go, down 3. Chris Middleton can't come up with it. Grizz win, 116-113. The Bucks drop to 6-1 at home. Marquette at Indiana, part of the Gavitt games. Romeo Langford, good-looking freshman. 22 points, 5 rebounds, gets the bucket and the bump. Marquette just trying to stay close. Joey Hauser, the catch, the pump fake, the step back. He had 18 points off the bench, but where art thou, Romeo? We can find him at the basket getting 2 points and a foul. Indiana wins big, 96-73, the final. Well, the high school football season ends tomorrow for area schools. 12-0 Blackhawk came up 1 game short last year. They avenged that loss last week against Bangor. Tomorrow, they'll try to take down 13-0 Edgar, who rolled in their semifinal. Division 7 championship kickoff, 10 a.m. from Camp Randall. No offense, Madison Mallards, but there's a really cool mascot coming to Warner Park next season. The Green Bay Bullfrogs changing locations and changing to the Green Bay Booyah. Booyah, I didn't know, is a Belgian-style stew, usually made with chicken and oxtail. Is this the greatest thing you've ever seen? Vegetables and a thick broth as well, seasoned to your taste. They're moving into a new stadium in Ashwaubenon. Booyah! One more break and we're back.
Chilly forecast, especially as we head into the weekend. Some snow Friday night into Saturday morning, maybe mix a little freezing drizzle, and then some rain late in the day on Thanksgiving. At least the days leading up to it should be pretty quiet.
All right. Gary, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us tonight for News 3 at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you here tomorrow.